welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be playing around with a new e.l.f. Camo Powder Foundation. I am super excited because I really like the whole like camo line that e.l.f. has done, so I'm really excited. I also really like powder foundations. My love for powder foundations have grown so much over like the past year. So I've been super excited for this launch. Launched randomly at Ulta like earlier this month. All the shades sold out so fast, so I didn't get my hands on them then. And I don't think all the shades were on Ulta at the time either. And then e.l.f. like came out and said, I think they just like launched early by accident on Ulta, to be honest, because then e.l.f. had to like come out and make a statement and say like, hey, we have more shades than the ones that launched on Ulta. They ended up restocking on Ulta. I noticed that the shades that I needed were back in stock, so I picked three up. Three that I did pick up are usually the shades that I like. The descriptions are what I usually pick up in other powder foundations or just foundation in general. I do have some thoughts on the shades already. I bought three of them. I did do a little swatch before I started filming, and I think only one might possibly work for me. It's not saying much because the one that I think will work for me still does not match. So we're still gonna try it anyway. I am gonna be doing a wear test. You actually have to leave in like an hour. I have a doctor's appointment, so I gotta kind of wrap this up a little bit, but I will be doing like a full wear test. I am gonna go to the doctor's. I will be wearing a mask, so we will be seeing how like that will hold up. So let me give you guys some information about this. On e.l.f.'s Instagram, it says that there are 30 shades to start. Buildable medium to full coverage. It's $11. Primer infused, long wearing, talc free. Applications a breeze with sponge included. So they will be on the e.l.f. Cosmetics website, at Ulta, and at Target. Like I said, they were already launched at Ulta. I don't know if that was like intentional or not, but I will link them down below. They were $11. I did pick up three of them. I used like my $3.50 off whatever coupon from Ulta. Let's say that it's a natural to semi-matte finish to create an airbrush shine-free even complexion, great for all skin types with oil control skin concerns, non-comedogenic. It does have that little powder sponge with it, and it is cruelty-free, as I think everything from e.l.f. is. We're just gonna go ahead and try this out. The shades that I did pick up were light 210 neutral, light 240 warm, and light 280 neutral. So light 210 neutral is described as light with neutral undertones. Light 240 is light with warm undertones, and then light 280 is light with neutral undertones. So I literally just bought those like three in that order. And I think the one that will match me is the lightest one. A quick little swatch on my face to show you guys, but I honestly was like shocked. This is what the packaging looks like, by the way. It's just in like this white compact. It's a little thick. It does have a mirror, and this is what it looks like inside with the little sponge on the bottom. But this one is 240 warm, and you guys can see, I don't know if you guys can really see on camera, but she is orange. It's giving very orange tone. That one is the warm undertone, so I'll give that one a little pass because that happens a lot sometimes with warm undertones. This one is 280 neutral. This one, this is not neutral. This one is also giving orange. It's orange, and it's a tad dark. I'll wipe that off. But I did swatch light 210 neutral, and it still was a little dark, but I think I can make it work. I'm going to be using the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Primer. This is a primer that I use all the time, and especially for powder foundations. I do have normal to dry skin. My skin has been really dry lately, so I don't know what happened, but my skin's been like extra dry. So I'm going to be using this. I have already moisturized as well. I'm using my Fenty Skin Overnight Moisturizer. Like I said, my skin's been extra dry, so the overnight literally just like soaks it up. So I am going to be doing just a little bit of concealer before I go in with the powder foundation. I'm going to use my e.l.f. Camo Concealer. This is the hydrating one. I love this concealer so much. I recommend this to everyone all the time, especially when people ask me like, what's your favorite like drugstore concealer besides Colourpop? This one is definitely my fave. I am in the shade Light Sand, so I'm going to just put a little bit of this under my eyes. Just right here. And I'm going to blend that out with a sponge. I went ahead and just put on my concealer under my eyes. I also just took like whatever was left just around my nose. But I did set that with the Fenty setting powder. So that's all I have on my face right now. So we're just going to go ahead and jump into the powder. I'm going to use the little sponge that it comes with on this side, and then I'll see how it looks with a brush on this side. Just like my last video, my Colourpop one, I will use this Element Cosmetics brush just to see if I like it better with the brush or the sponge. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into it. I already applied my primer and I am moisturized, which I think are two big keys, especially if you have like more dry skin. If you want to do powder foundation, this little combo right here with the Fenty moisturizer and the Colourpop primer, like a match made in heaven for powder foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply it to this side of my face first, and then I'll give you guys like a close-up little clip of how it looks with the foundation on and then without, like other shade references and stuff down below in other foundations if you guys are kind of the same shade as me. But yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead and dip into the powder. I am terrified. Yeah, it's definitely too warm. This one is the neutral one, but it's still pulling very warm. So I'm gonna have to bring this probably further down. This shade is, I'm just gonna make it work for this video. So I think it is going on fine with the sponge. It's just a little flimsy like beauty sponge. It's not anything like crazy. But it is going on the skin pretty nice. It does look like it is like medium coverage for sure. Oh my god, I look orange. And I'm just kind of bringing it up to right here because I already have concealer on, so I don't want to mess with that too much. Okay, once I kind of spread it out a little bit more, it doesn't look as bad, but it's definitely not my shade. Putting it up here, it definitely gets rid of like the shine on my forehead, so I'm pretty light. So I just want to mention that the one that I'm using is the 4th shade in the ones that are on Ulta at least. This is the first light shade. So the one before this is Fair 150 with cool undertones. I didn't think I would need a fair powder because I'm definitely not fair. I'm definitely more on like the light side. I can even probably go more light medium when I'm like a little bit more tan, but yeah, this is definitely, I would say, like more light medium for sure, but it looks nice on the skin. It doesn't look like heavy or anything. It does look a little not so much heavy, but I can definitely see that there's like powder like in this area, which I've never really noticed that with other powder foundations. So, but everywhere else I think it looks fine. A little close up right here so you guys can see the difference with it on and then with nothing on this side. I do have concealer on my under eye on this side, but that's it. So you guys can see the difference right there. But yeah, so far, I mean, I think it looks okay. I'd say with one side, again, it doesn't look bad. I do think like once I kind of put the shade on the rest of my face, it doesn't look as like jarring when I first applied it. So the shade isn't like too bad, but it's definitely not my shade for sure. I feel like it looks a little bit darker in person than it is showing up on camera too. But I'm gonna go on with this side now with this brush and see how I like it. Oop. A lot came out, so a lot picked up on the brush. I just kind of like swirled it once. So we're gonna go on with this side. Oh, I feel like that definitely gives you a little bit more coverage for sure. This shade is sending me. Yeah, I think I definitely like this one more with the brush. I don't really like the sponge in this powder. Also not noticing like that weird like buildup I'm kind of seeing on this side on my mouth when I use with the sponge, and yeah, I'm not noticing it on this side using a brush, so I'm wondering if that's like a sponge thing. I don't know. Definitely think I like it better with the sponge. Also, like it's very finely milled, like I'm barely tapping my brush into it and a lot of like powder is coming up. Definitely think it looks better applying it with a brush. I am not a huge fan of this little sponge, so I'm just gonna go over this side with the brush. I'd even kind of like, I don't know, it's giving me like this weird shadow on my lip. I've never had that happen to me with any powder foundation, and it's like giving me like almost like a mustache, and I'm not feeling it. I can see it on camera and I can see it in person, and I don't have a mustache. Like, I've never noticed this with any other foundation or powder foundation or anything. Everywhere else, I think it looks okay. I think it looks nice. It doesn't look like too heavy or like I'm wearing like a powder. It honestly kind of just like melted into the skin really nicely. So that's definitely a good thing. But yeah, this area, I'll put a close up right here of how it looks with my phone. And yeah, I think it looks fine. The shade, once it is blended all over, doesn't look too bad, but definitely it's a lot darker than like my chest. It doesn't look too bad because I'm wearing a sweater, thank God. But yeah, if I was wearing like a tank top or something, you could definitely see like this is way darker than my chest. I'm gonna go ahead and just put on the rest of my makeup really quick, and then we'll see how that looks once everything else is on. But so far I think it looks fine besides that lip area. I don't like that at all. It is about to be 10:50, almost 11 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, just for like time references later when I'm doing like a check-in and stuff. But yeah, it's about to be 11, so I'm gonna go ahead and just do that, and then I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm back already. I'll put a little clip right here that I just took with my phone, but as I was applying my bronzer, I'm using the same bronzer that I use all the time, my Alamod Cosmetics, and the same brush that I always use. Foundation is coming off. Like, it's literally getting, like, I can see a clear demarcation of like my actual skin underneath and like where the foundation was at, and you can see it's like coming off. And I'm not doing anything different. This is literally how I apply like my bronzer and everything all the time. I'm using the same product, so I don't know, but it is kind of coming off right here. I noticed it a little bit on this side too. Don't know what that's about. Never had that happen, especially when I'm using powder on powder. Like, that usually never happens. That happens sometimes when like you use cream on top of powders and stuff, but never powder on powder. But I wanted to mention that really quick. I was just like doing my makeup and I was like, what is happening? So I wanted to mention that. Okay guys, so I went ahead and just finished up the rest of my makeup. It's 11:10 right now, so I've been on for like about 20 minutes at this point. I think it definitely looks better now that I have the rest of my makeup on. I also like kind of baked underneath like my contour and stuff, so it kind of helped with the shade match a little bit. It doesn't look as dark anymore. I still think it looks really nice. I said it really like melted into the skin. It doesn't look too much like powder, and I still agree. I don't think it looks like I'm wearing like a powder or anything. It doesn't make my skin look dry. I still don't really like how this like area is looking. I feel like you can't really tell on camera. Like, when I was looking back at like the ones I took on my phone, it doesn't really show up too much on camera, but I can see it looking in the mirror. Like, it's something probably like nobody would even notice, but like I can see it because I'm just like not used to seeing that. So I can definitely see like this shadow right here. But other than that, I think it still looks fine. Around my like piercing right here has been like pretty dry, and it doesn't look like it's like clinging on to anything right there. In between my eyebrows looks good. I still kind of feel the same as I did before I did the rest of my makeup. It's like, I'm just like, oh, okay, like it's nice. Like, I'm not like wowed by it or anything, but and I'm like, I don't know, maybe like once it kind of like warms up to the rest of my skin, once I kind of like walk around and, you know, do things. But right now, like, I'm just kind of like, it looks cute. If I would like reach back for it, like reach for it again and like use it on a daily basis. But that's just right now. I've only had it on for like 20 minutes. So my opinion could obviously change in a little while and stuff, but so far right now, I think it looks okay. But I am running late for my appointment. I do have to leave in like 10 minutes and I'm behind already. But yeah, so I will check in with you guys in a little bit, hopefully in a couple hours. I don't know how long that appointment is going to take, but yeah, check in with you guys in a little bit. So I'll see you then. Guys, so I just got home right now. I'm in my bathroom because there's a lot going on right now. I'm packing some things up, but it's about to be 4 o'clock right now. I think it's on for like almost 5 hours now. It's definitely, I don't know if you can tell, I don't know if you can really tell on camera right now, but I noticed it when I was in the car like leaving the doctor's office. It definitely oxidized. It looks a lot warmer and like a little bit almost orange. Just like double masking it at the doctor's office, and I don't feel like the mask like took any of the makeup off or anything. Like, it stayed pretty well wearing a mask for a couple hours. I was honestly there for a while, so I think it's looking pretty good. I just feel like I'm a little shiny, but it does look nice, and I definitely think like once it warmed up to my skin and everything, it looked really nice as well. I definitely think it oxidized a little bit, and that was like not the best because it was already dark to begin with. Again, I feel like you can't really tell because I'm wearing like a sweater, but it's definitely a lot darker than my chest. Close and everything, I think it looks okay. It is kind of bunching up a little bit right here. So that's kind of a little update. I will update you guys at the end of the day. I don't know what time I'm going to take this off yet, but
this is how it's looking so far around 4 o'clock. So yeah, I just wanted to do a quick little update.
So right now it is about to be 5:30, so I've had this on for a good amount of time, and to be honest, I don't think I really need to wear it anymore to kind of give you my thoughts on it. I think I pretty much have like a pretty set in stone opinion on it. It looks okay right now. It is a little shiny in like this area, but if you've seen any of my other foundation reviews and stuff, that is pretty normal for me. However, I just don't care for it that much. I'm sad because I really love e.l.f. Like, if you watched any of my other e.l.f. reviews, like 9 times out of 10, almost always like positive. I usually love everything from e.l.f. So I'm a little sad that I don't really care for this that much, but I think it looks okay, but it was really nothing that like wowed me, honestly. Like, even initially, I think I said earlier, I was like, okay, like it looks okay, but I'm not like it's not really doing anything for me. So like the shade, I feel like the shades were really off. Like the undertones were off. I feel like they all lean pretty warm, at least the ones that I got. Obviously, I don't know what the other ones look like. I applied it and like it kind of set into the skin. It looked really nice, and I think that, again, like I said earlier, it doesn't look like I'm wearing a powder, which is nice. Like, it just kind of looks like I'm wearing like a regular foundation. I really like the coverage on it. I think it's a nice like medium coverage. I'm sure you can build it up to a full, but I don't know how much full coverage it would be. I feel like it's more on the medium side. Like I had mentioned earlier too, I noticed that it was kind of like picking up the like when I applied my bronzer, the foundation underneath came off, which I thought was super weird because that usually doesn't happen when I do powders on powders. Usually that will happen with like powders on top of cream products and vice versa, you know, but I don't know, it was really weird. I also still don't like how it looks around my mouth. I'll put a little close up right here of how it looks. I feel like on camera it looks okay, but I don't know, like when I look really close up into a mirror, like I just don't really care for how it looks in my mouth area. Also, I do feel like it is settling a little bit in my smile lines, and it did kind of bunch up around my nose area. That's usually pretty normal too, like that happens all the time, but from initial application, I wasn't like wowed or anything. I just feel like it's like an okay powder. Right now, I've only had it on for like almost 6 hours, and I think that it looks okay. I do think that it held up pretty well under a mask. I will say that I did have a mask on for a couple hours, and I don't think it really moved around or anything, but I don't like, there was, I don't know. And it also oxidized a little bit too, so that I didn't really care for. It's not a bad powder, but I just can't see myself reaching for it again. I just reviewed the Colourpop pressed powder like my last video, so just since these kind of came out around the same time, I do like that one more, even though that one was more of a pressed powder and not so much a powder foundation. I was definitely way more impressed with that one compared to this e.l.f. one. And then also, I forgot to mention earlier, this does have 8 grams of product, if you guys were wondering. But yeah, overall, I'm just like, I don't hate it, I don't not like it, I just, it's not anything that would like make, it didn't like impressed me enough to where I'm like, oh, I definitely want to use that again. It's just kind of like, it's all right. Powder, I do think $11 is kind of pricey for e.l.f., but it is definitely more of the like, it is a more affordable one, like compared to like the L'Oreal one, the Colourpop one, and I think Maybelline has a powder foundation too, if I'm not mistaken. I don't really remember, but compared to like other drugstore powder foundations, I do like the L'Oreal one way more, the Colourpop one more. So that's just like my opinion, but yeah, I mean, I don't think it looks bad. It's just nothing like, it didn't really like wow me. And I do think the shades are a little off. Like, I think they all lean really warm, even like the neutral ones that I got. Again, I only have 3 shades here that I picked up. Not give my opinion obviously on the other shades in this line, but just the ones that I picked up, I feel like they do lean really warm. And I actually saw somebody else, I forgot who tweeted it, somebody tweeted that they also picked some up and that the shades were really off. So I think this is kind of a reoccurring thing. I don't think it's just me. If this video was helpful for you, leave me a comment down below if you've picked up any of these yet, since they did launch on Ulta. Like, have you tried them out? Did you like them? Did you not like them? Are you guys gonna pick these up? Let me know in the comments down below. But anyways, if you guys did like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if not subscribed already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.